Well, good afternoon and hello, tea timers out there. We're so excited that you have tapped into us today at the Renewal Center for Tea Time Tuesday. Good afternoon to everyone. We are so excited to be streaming live here on location at the Renewal Center today. We hope everyone's Tuesday afternoon is off to a great start. It's chilly here in Concord. It's chilly, but it is absolutely warm and invigorating and serene here at the Renewal Center. And today we're so excited that we have our Director of Digital Renewal and Stewardship, Hope T. Milton, is on site today. Oh, I'm so excited. This is really great. And we just want to go ahead and tell everyone to go ahead and like and share this broadcast with everyone so that they can tap into the Renewal Center today with our Tea Time Tuesday renewal practices, which we're so excited about. And don't forget that we are streaming live over there on YouTube at our YouTube channel. You can go over to our YouTube channel, like and subscribe, and you can share that with everyone as well to let them know that we're staying on top of things and staying abreast of things. And you can see a lot of our broadcasts over there on the YouTube channel. And so we're so grateful to everyone that you've stopped in this afternoon to take the time. Hello, Renita. I see Renita's out there. Good afternoon, Nichelle. Hello, Executive Director Patrick J. Brown is out there. Hi, Keisha. Okay, we're just off to a great Tuesday afternoon. And this is the time. This is the time that we do every Tuesday at noon and our special Tea Time Tuesday in the evenings on the last Thursday of the month, where we actually, Tuesday of the month, where we actually take time to pause, to reset, and build resilience. And so let's go ahead into our tea time today. November is the month of gratitude. And so the Renewal Center, we are celebrating National Gratitude Month. And along with National Gratitude Month, this is the time that we really take time to incorporate ways to be thankful, ways to be grateful, and express gratitude. There's so many ways to do that, expressing gratitude and kindness, and observing the everyday small and the significant things to be grateful for. So I'm telling you, we should just be filling up the chat this morning with a lot of hearts and thumbs up and those things, because we are grateful. Here at the Renewal Center, we are grateful. Grateful that we're celebrating 2 years. That's something great to just be happy and thankful for right there alone. So continue to join in with us this month as we continue to celebrate gratitude. Okay, there on the screen, our tea of the week is golden chai tea. Golden chai tea. Okay. Golden chai tea. I guess we'll start off with the golden chai tea today for our tea time, our tea of the week. Actually, it's chilly outside, and how appropriate to actually start it off today with that particular autumn tea. We've been talking about autumn teas this last 3 weeks, and now we're talking about golden chai tea. If you've had golden chai tea, you can relate to how really soothing and warm and spicy this tea really is. It's really comforting tea. It's something that we can make that's really easy. This particular tea, it's an earthy tea. It's very warm. And if you really like ginger, cinnamon, and cloves, and even cracked black pepper, you're going to really enjoy this. This is a staple in a lot of people's homes. Love to make golden chai tea. You're bringing turmeric. You're bringing the turmeric, the ground turmeric spice. You're bringing your ginger, your cinnamon, your cloves, your vanilla sticks. Oh, I'm loving it already. And even you're bringing that cracked black pepper to give it that little spice. And you're steeping that together. You're bringing in some cream, the cream of your choice. And then you're adding in some sweeteners that you like, because we always talk about honey here at the Renewal Center. Add in a little honey or whatever you like, and you're going to bring that together, warm that up together, and then just really take time to enjoy that on a chilly day just like today right here in Concord. So our tea of the week is golden chai tea. And you know what? Along with a good cup of tea is a great book. A great book. So we're going to move into our book of the week. Actually, I have that book right here, and it's in our thought room at the Renewal Center. A very good book. The book of the week is Love Has a Price Tag, and it's by Elizabeth George. It is a great read. And this is really what it's about. It says, love, it's worth the price. And, what it says here is love means self giving. Self giving means sacrifice. And the author says that love has a price tag. It still speaks powerfully to us today, as freshly as it has been written only yesterday. In this collection of essays, the author, Elizabeth Elliot, shows us what it means to live a life fully given to Christ. By depicting everyday encounters and events, she helps us to see the meaning both of the mundane and the miraculous. So this is a great book to read when you're dropping in at the Renewal Center. You can pick it up and read it. Love Has a Price Tag by Elizabeth George. I just can't wait to delve into this just a little bit more and find out more of this great read. And so, moving along with our tea of the week, I want to ask everybody to start putting in the chat, what are you drinking today? What is your tea of choice? You can go ahead and start filling the chat. I see Nicole is out there. Good afternoon, Nicole. It's good to see everybody. I see Nichelle just said grateful, thankful, and blessed. Yes, I'm telling you, I am excited today just to be here, to get the time to stop, to pause, to build resilience, and to add these renewal practices into my daily life. So I hope that you brought your journal. I got mine. And your cup of tea. I have mine too. And then as we are putting in the chat what we have, hello, Patrick is saying he has apple cinnamon. Yes, let's see. Tina, hi Tina, it's good to see you too. Renita has lemon water. No tea today, Renita? Nita, you don't want any tea today? That's refreshing, that lemon water. Nichelle, she says black cherry tea. Oh, I know that's really delicious. Black cherry. We featured that on our Tea Time Tuesday, our tea of the week too. Black cherry tea. Okay. Nicole, she has Speculoos coffee. Nicole, you always have some special coffee. You have to share with us what that really is. Speculoos coffee. Sounds really delicious. And then Nichelle, she's coming in. She's going to be coming. Oh, she's coming by the Tea Time Tuesday today, Nichelle. She's coming by to see us here at the Renewal Center on location. So I cannot wait to see you too, Nichelle. Let's take a moment, settle ourselves. We just jump started the day and we're really in the swing of it. So let's take a moment and settle ourselves and locate ourselves like we always do. And for those of you who are tuning into Tea Time Tuesday for the first time, locating ourselves gives us an opportunity to slow down, just breathe for a second, and focus and get ourselves ready for a time of building ourselves up today. So let's do a moment of just being still and just taking some relaxation breaths. Yes, let's take some time to just relax and breathe. A few more seconds. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me with that moment. Just take the time to locate yourself. I feel my shoulders just relaxing, and I'm in a position to just go into Tea Time Tuesday. So without further delay, we're going to go ahead and bring in our Director of Digital Renewal and Stewardship, Hope T. Melton, who is on site today.
All right.
Oh, it's good to see you here today on site. Yes, and she's going to take us into the rest of our Tea Time Tuesday today.
All right. Again, good afternoon to all our tea timers. Today, I am having lemon ginger tea. And I love ginger and I definitely love lemon. So great combination. I am enjoying this richly. I'm also enjoying being here on site with all of you for tea time and good afternoon. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Patrick. That's our executive director. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. And just excited to be here with all of you this afternoon. Carmela, did you want to stay on, or are you going to, meet me in the
Well,
back end?
I'm going to be in the background
You gonna be
today.
in the
I
back?
got my journal. I'm ready. I'm ready to
Okay.
go in the tea time with you.
All right. Thank you so much. We'll be back with you. Bring you back on it towards the end. All right, good afternoon, everyone, and I'm just excited to be here. I hope that you have your tea time journal, and that you're ready to engage. Because I'm looking for engagement this afternoon, as this is a time that we take to pause, reset, and build resilience. So again, good afternoon to all our tea timers and all of our first time people who are joining us for our tea time community. Please make sure to share and like the broadcast as well, so that everyone can be a part of it. Again, we're just looking forward to engagement this afternoon, and I'm just excited to be here at the Renewal Center with all of you actually doing tea time. And so I'm just excited to be here with all of you. And speaking of just being thankful and grateful, the Renewal Center, we're celebrating National Gratitude Month. Okay, National Gratitude Month. So if you can, even in our chat, go ahead and write down some things that you are grateful for this month. We know that we're grateful every single day of the year. So go ahead and engage and write down some things that you're grateful for as we begin to move into our tea time, a time of being grateful, a time of just building resilience among our tea time community. So you can go ahead and chime in and just something that you're grateful for today. I'm just great. I'm very grateful to be here at the Renewal Center. I'm doing tea time. Usually I'm over in Georgia, Stone Mountain, but I'm actually here doing tea time. And so the Renewal Center, we're celebrating, thank you, a National Gratitude Month. So we thank you all for joining in and sharing with us this afternoon. So we're going to go ahead and get right into our tea time this afternoon. I hope that you all have your journals, your tea time journals, and that you're ready to engage in what we have this afternoon for you. We're going to be sharing some renewal principles, practices this afternoon for you to take away, as this is a great time to be thankful. All right. I see some comments are coming in. I'm so thankful for, yes, absolutely, absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that, Scarlett. Thank you so much. Yes, the scenery. All right. Thank you, Carmela. Keisha's having coffee. Okay, nothing wrong with it. All right, coffee. Usually after my tea, I'll go ahead and get a cup of coffee to get me going. Thank you so much for sharing. Tina says health, family, friends, my work opportunities, lessons learned. All right, thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. Monique says I'm grateful for my friends and family. Thank you all so much for chiming in with what you are thankful for. And we're going to go ahead and move into, since this is our month of gratitude and a month of being thankful, just want to share some things with you this afternoon. And we're just going to talk a little bit about taking time to pause. And so I am looking forward to you all chiming in with taking time to pause. And as we begin to go into this, I want you to go ahead and place in your comments um, why it's important to take time to pause. And even if there's challenges sometimes taking time to pause, be that we have different roles and functions and we live, in a world where things are moving quickly. And so we want to discuss, since this is going into, this time of the year where we're thankful, when we're with family and when we're with friends, the importance of pausing. Okay, and so go ahead as you're just sharing. I see comment coming in from Keisha. I'm grateful for each new day and the new connections. Thank you so much for sharing that, Keisha. Thank you so much. And so as we go ahead and move forward, I want you to go ahead and chime in and tell me and express what you think about when you're taking time to pause. Okay, Scarlett says, so we can hear his voice in the chaos. Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing that, Scarlett. Appreciate your engagement. And so I want to talk a little bit about pausing and why it's important. First of all, we want to, kind of, and even as I was talking to Carmela just a few moments ago before we started tea time, giving yourself permission to take a break. Okay, who can relate to that? Go ahead and chime in. Giving yourself permission to take a break. And as I was talking to Carmela about this earlier, I said, you know what? I said sometimes I realize that when I am trying to take a break, my mind is still going, and I'm like, okay, I have to do this. I have to do this and do that, and I have to, I like to reflect a lot and think a lot. And so I said, you know what? I'm giving myself this time to take a break and give myself permission to take a break. And I see some comments are coming in here. I see Tina says, pause, taking a break mentally, emotionally, and physically. Thank you so much for sharing that. That is so important, especially during this time of year, about us taking a break to pause. Go ahead and chime in into why taking a break is important to you. I see Keisha is chiming in here, and she says, taking time to pause for me requires me to be intentional about me and self-care. Absolutely. Thank you so much. I like that you use the word intentional. And so that's what I had to get the revelation of, Keisha, of being intentional, because, I would attempt to take breaks, but my mind would keep going, and I have to do this and I have to do that. And I wasn't giving myself permission. I was kind of like I was telling Carmela, like feeling like I knew I had to do something. Something had to be done. And if I didn't do it, then, just this feeling. And so now I am intentional, as you use that word, in taking time to pause and take a break. All right. Scott says yes and amen. We all need that permission to pause and reset. Absolutely. And so I want to share with you some things as you guys are chiming in, as we understand. We need to, as we're taking a break, as well as everyone is chiming in, we want to take the opportunity to understand the importance of pausing. And so we allow ourselves to basically unplug, just kind of unplug from everything. And allowing ourselves to unplug allows us to prioritize our spiritual and mental well-being. Unplugging is very important as we kind of disconnect. As we were talking about just sometimes leaving the phone, not carrying the phone with me everywhere, walking around with my phone, kind of just leave it sitting there. That's a way of unplugging. Even as simple as, like, even if I'm unplugging and not wanting to engage in conversations or social media, when I'm taking time for me to watch a movie, I want to kind of sit it away so I can engage and not watch the movie and kind of, get into that and get on social media. So go ahead and share your opportunity, or share why it's important for you to unplug. And what it's a process of self-renewal. When you're unplugging, it's a time where you allow yourself to have that self-renewal and begin giving yourself to permission to fully pursue it. So what I'm doing is, like, Keisha used that word intentional, letting the process of self-renewal take place by giving myself permission to unplug. And unplugging can be from various different things, depending on how your life is, depending on your roles and your functions. If you're parents, your grandparents, if you certain relationships, certain job functions. And sometimes I will say for some it may be kind of challenging to get away. But the thing here is about being intentional, so that even if it's just 5-10 minutes, to be able to unplug. And I see some comments coming in here. Okay. Right. And all right. Thank you so much, Scarlett. I can be so driven, so I've started being intentional to take breaks and do some things for me once a week. Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing that, Nichelle. You said intentional. Absolutely. Tina says, as an overthinker and someone who's dealt with anxiety, it's for my mental health. Absolutely. I agree 100%. Absolutely. Gives the opportunity to disconnect and let go. All right. Thank you so much for sharing that, Tina. And Carmela says, yes, unplugging and detaching from my cell phone helps me in the moment taking time for me to just be. Thank you so much for sharing that, Carmela. All right, Michelle says unplugging helps me to refresh, renew, and regulate my mind, body, and emotions. Thank you so much for engaging and understanding why we need to unplug. And so I want to share something as I was, finding out about renewal and finding out about a lifestyle of renewal practices. And I say a lifestyle of renewal practices, not just something that we do one time, but something that we are intentional and that it becomes a lifestyle. Now, even in some research, they have something regarding the power of pausing. And this says, in the power of pausing, you will feel refreshed and re-energized for hours after taking a break from noise and doing. It is important to give your nervous system time to regain balance by simply being still and quiet. That is very important. Even in pausing, it's allowing us to allow our nervous system to regain balance by being still and being quiet. And so pausing can be different. Pausing can be, for me, pausing is complete and complete silence for me. I'm talking about no TV, no phone. Sometimes I just like to sit maybe outside and just listen to the sounds of the leaves blowing, or just sit. As I used to share with Carmela, and this time of the year, I'll put the fireplace on TV and let that go ahead and go, even though I have one. But the one, I just let it go and just listen to the fireplace and the sounds of soft music. That is my way of pausing, which helps me to re-energize, which helps me to regain balance simply by being still and quiet. And though we live in a culture where talking and moving is a part of our culture, and so we want to be intentional about taking that time to pause. And even in studies, it says that it gives you time to give your nervous system time to regain balance by simply being still and being quiet. And so I have some comments that are coming in. All right. Go ahead and put these comments up. All right. Monique says time away from everything helps me to recalibrate and de-stress. Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing that, Monique. Unplugging, Renita says, unplugging allows for more quality time with my family. Absolutely, and I'm glad you said that, Renita, because we're coming up on the times where we come together as family. It's important that we unplug, even to spend time with family and friends. Step away. If you have that time, be intentional about stepping away and say, you know what, I'm gonna, take this time out. And that's depending on your schedule. Whatever time you can take out is a great time. Some people can take out more. Some people may not be able to take out that much depending on their schedule. But as long as you're intentional about taking some time out, especially through this time, to spend time with your family. So thank you so much for sharing that, Renita. Carmela says, I give myself permission to pause. Thank you for saying that. And you know what? That the thing you put in there is permission, like we were just discussing. And I hope you guys have your tea time, your journals out, because I have a journal exercise I want you to participate in if you can. I want you to write down a couple of ways of how you can be more intentional about taking a pause, having more intention about taking a pause, and being intentional about the times that you can't take a pause, because all of us, depending on what you do and how your schedule is, the times can be different. So I want you to go ahead, even in your tea time journal, go ahead and share and put down in ways that you'll be more intentional about taking a pause. Okay, Scarlett says, resting by the window, praying with a warm blanket, allows me to unplug from the world and reconnect to myself and Holy Spirit. Thank you so much for sharing. That is very important. Thank you so much for sharing that, Scarlett. All right. We got the comments coming in. All right. Yes, me too. The virtual fireplace. I know, I have that virtual fireplace. Thank you so much for sharing that, Carmela. And we both talk about it because sometimes I'll have the music playing, the YouTube fireplace. And even though I have an actual fireplace in my home, I'll have that fireplace just playing kind of in my room and just hear the sounds of that burning wood, which is really relaxing to me. Thank you for sharing that, Carmela. Okay, Michelle says ocean sounds, instrumental violin, instrumental piano are sounds I use to pause. As for the instrumental music, it has to be something I don't know or I'll end up singing the lyrics in my head. Thank you so much, Michelle, for sharing that. I understand. I love music. One of my favorites is the violin that I listen to very, very often. I listen to violin music very often. So thank you so much for sharing that, Michelle. Thank you all so much for chiming in with your comments. And as we move on, we're just going to continue to talk about the importance of pausing and the importance of this being a actual daily renewal practices, a renewal lifestyle. These things are something that we should practice often as a lifestyle. And so, as well, someone mentioned earlier, it improves mental health, it improves and empowers our mental health and helps us to kind of gain control in our emotional state and create a positive environment in a life pleasing that we desire. And so when we're taking time to pause, it's helping to what improve mental state, gives you that time to kind of center yourself. Like what we do will locate ourselves. That is the way that we center ourselves. And what happens is that it helps us to calm our emotional state, calm our thoughts down, calm things down, and we can gain understanding and more when we are pausing, and it helps with our mental state as well. And so when we're able to understand our pausing and taking that time, remember as a renewal practice to give yourself permission to take a break and pause. And we have shared that this afternoon and understanding the importance of pausing. And so as we move on and as you guys continue to chime in, I see a comment coming in. All right, Scarlett says, unplugging and calming our minds involves engaging our senses, sound, touch, taste, sight. It helps to bring us back to our bodies. Thank you so much for sharing that. I appreciate you putting that in there. You know what? It does. Like I said, sometimes for me, my pausing is complete silence. And I usually pause. Most of my pausing is done kind of in the morning, so I do this daily. Like I'll just sit. That's why I don't want to get right on the phone right away. I don't want to take phone calls right away. I try to do that depending if I'm up in time, with working and everything. But just taking that time to pause is something that I practice often. Thank you so much for sharing that, Scarlett. And so we're going to go ahead and move on, and we're going to talk about improving your self-awareness and why this is important. And on this particular picture, I like this picture because it's like kind of like someone standing and kind of looking in, and there's that light that's coming on. And self-awareness is like a light that comes on. Self-awareness is power to our lives and gives us the opportunity to be intentional about what's going on within us. And so I want you to go ahead and share and engage. And I also want you to, if you're doing your journaling, I want you to write down, the importance of self-awareness to you. And I'm just going to give you a moment to do that. And I'm just going to take a sip of my tea as you're writing down why is improving your self-awareness, what's important about that. And you're free to go ahead and share into the chat as well. All right, so we're improving our self-awareness, and as you're going ahead and journal, I'll give you a second to put that down. So when we improve our self-awareness, when you improve your self-awareness, we have to understand that even when you're trying to do goals, make plans, and do fulfilling things, the way that we can discover is this, that we must be understanding and subjective to being aware of what's going on the inside of us. And so this is a time where you just kind of, it's still in the pausing, but it's a time of reflection, a time of looking within. And so sometimes we tend to through life as being on an autopilot. It's like the plane is flying, we got the pilot sitting there, But the autopilot is allowing them to kind of like, just lay back and the plane is cruising because it's on autopilot. And sometimes that's how our life is. We tend to go through life on autopilot sometimes for some people most of the time. As long as we make it through the day, that's fine. And we don't basically take the time to take the actions and examine ourselves as well. And we understand that a lack of self awareness prevents us from not being able to make those goals, not being able to give that clarity that you need, being aware of certain habits, being aware of certain things. By being self aware, you're taking responsibility of our emotions, our thoughts, and our actions. Actions as well as self awareness allows us to improve every aspect of our life. Okay. And so, even with being in self awareness, we're aware of our emotional state. We're aware of our thoughts. We're aware of our actions. Okay. And then what? We improve in our lives. We increase in confidence and creativity in our decision making and skills. And so I just want you, as you go ahead and chime in, understanding the importance of improving your self awareness and how you can go ahead and improve that. Scholar says improving self awareness improves our ability to care for and connect to ourselves and others. That is a very good point. Thank you so much for sharing that, Scarlett. And so, as we are sharing today, like I said, these are renewal practices for renewal lifestyle, a life of renewal, and a lifestyle of self awareness. Thank you so much for sharing that, Scarlett. So, we want to be intentional on having a life of self awareness. And I understand and being fulfilled. And fulfillment is not, about material things, but it's about who I am at the core and the essence of who I am. And the only thing we can do to understand that is be self-aware of who we are. And so you can go ahead again and share your comments if you're journaling. I would love for you to engage and put in the chat as well why it's important to improve our self-awareness. Where are you at in your self-awareness of yourself? Can you locate yourself right now on your self-awareness? Are we in control, or balancing our emotions, our thoughts, and the things that we're doing? Are we taking that time to be self-aware of how we're engaging in relationships in our families and even in this time of year? And so we want to be able to have a lifestyle of awareness as well. So I just wanted to go ahead. And also, if you look at this picture, I want you to go ahead and chime in. And what are you getting from this particular picture that is up on the screen with this particular visual here? What are you getting from this particular picture? What do you see from your lens and your perception? Go ahead and share that inside of the chat. I would love to hear your feedback regarding the picture there. Tina says, for me, self-awareness is accountability and necessary to grow and mature. Thank you so much, Tina. Absolutely right. Thank you so much for sharing that. All right. Patrick says, self-awareness helps you to understand the difference between what you can control and what you can influence. Thank you so much. That is very good. Thank you so much for sharing that in your engagement, Patrick. And so, again, what are you seeing when we see this picture? For me, when I looked at the picture, I saw looking within. That's what I see when I'm kind of like gazing and like looking, and it's like looking within. A lot of what we need is within. And so that's what I'm looking, because like in the picture, you can see all the different things, different types of things that are kind of like turning, and then you see the flashlight going in and that light. And so for me, it was kind of like just looking within and understanding that a lot of what I need is within. And so that's why it's important to take time to pause. That's why it's important to be self-aware. And as Patrick comment said regarding here, just self-awareness helps you to understand the difference between what you can control and what you can influence. And that is a powerful comment. I thank you for sharing that. And that's what we're doing here, is we're understanding self-awareness even during this time of the year. All right. Being self-aware, Michelle says, being self-aware gives us the opportunity to ask ourselves how we are doing. It's a moment for us to see if we are out of alignment in any areas of our life. And you know what? That picture kind of with that light in what you just shared, kind of, I can see that in there because it's like a looking in the light and it's like a searching and looking within. All right, I see Carmela here says the word insight is coming to mind when I look at the picture. Thank you so much for sharing that, Carmela. Absolutely. Absolutely. Have another comment coming in. Anita Marie, to improve my self-awareness allows me to embrace my real, authentic self. Absolutely. And as I just thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you so much for sharing that. And okay, we have Dr. Paul. Okay, thank you for tuning in for Tea Time. The visual reveals that all the senses are involved as one seeks to evaluate herself. Thank you so much for sharing that, Dr. Paul. Good afternoon, and thank you for coming on. All right, and Scarlett says, the picture makes me think of the valuable work of self-reflection. It helps us to understand what drives us. It takes time and work, but it's worth it, and it improves valuable and payoff. All right, thank you so much for sharing. Very good engagement from our Tea Time community this afternoon. And so I want to go ahead and we're going to continue to share. And so I want to, as we're talking about what you shared about what you see in this picture here and looking within, and a lot of what we need is within us, that is awareness. That is awareness of what we have, the capacity that we have, the time that we have, who we are authentically and who we are at the core. The looking within, even as Carmela said, the insight that we get. I see another comment coming in. All right. Patrick says, when we see ourselves clearly, we are more confident and creative, which moves us from talking to action. Absolutely. That I like that. That's a good one right there. Thank you so much for sharing that this afternoon, Patrick. And even in that, like we were saying earlier, when we understand and we're looking from within and improving our self-awareness, as Patrick just said, it's an opportunity for us to, kind of gauge our emotion, our thoughts and awarenesses and improve in every aspect of our life. This is powerful. And so this is really good. And this is what we're talking about is renewal lifestyle. And that's our tea time, a lifestyle of renewal. That means that these things have to be, practiced daily as well. And so we just, even that point, even where I talked about that being on autopilot, and that's the difference from, being just kind of on autopilot and the difference between being intentional about movement. And so thank you so much, everyone, for sharing and engaging and looking at this photo and said that we're looking within, and a lot of what we need is within. And so those are some of the things I wanted to share this afternoon for our Renewal Center practices. I have one thing that I'm going to share, but I'm just going to take a pause right now and just invite you all to give to the Renewal Center. All right, if you want to give to the Renewal Center, this is the Renewal Center's 2-year anniversary, and we have our giving initiative for the entire month of November. And this is our Giving Tuesday. I have one more point I want to go over, but I want to take a pause to give you an opportunity to connect with us on Giving Tuesday here. And this is a time where you can connect with us. This is the season of giving. Let's give together. Again, this initiative is for the entire month of November as we are continuing to keep pressing and moving forward in the vision of the Renewal Center. And we would love for you to connect, whether that be monthly, you can sow. We are so thankful. We just had a wonderful, phenomenal past Sunday as we celebrate RC's 2-year anniversary. Thank you so much, Carmela, for that, our 2-year anniversary. We are just so excited about that and want us to give you the opportunity to be able to give. And I'll go ahead and place our giving up here that you'll be able to give, all right? And then we'll go back to our final point. We have several ways that you can give here through our digital giving. We have our website. We have where you can actually text to give. We also have our Gmail PayPal account, and we have the actual PayPal. And if you'd like to mail a money order or check, you may do so. And I will place this information back up again towards the end. And so as we go ahead and get to the last point, and I just wanted to give you all an opportunity to connect with us and give. But we are really excited about 2023 and everything that we're going to be bringing to you. And so even in this time that we said that this is a month of being grateful, I wanted to take the opportunity to share with you expectations for appreciation. I wanted to share that with you this afternoon. All right, Patrick says grateful to serve with an effective team. Absolutely, we're honored to serve. That is Patrick Brown, who is our executive director here at the Renewal Center. And so we are so excited, and I wanted to share this with you and get your perspectives and get you to engage. Expectations of appreciation. Expectations of appreciation. I wanted to close out with this as we are in this month of being thankful. We're in this month of being with family and friends. And I'm just going to use some real analogies here, about expectation for appreciation. Sometimes we have our dinners and we get together, and sometimes with my family, a few of my family members, when we do get together, they're late. And you know how you want to start everything on time. And then it kind of takes you out of that, that mood where you're like, oh gosh, they're late again. We started this time and then they're late. So what I did was I began to change my expectations and make it for appreciation. So my expectation is that you would show up on time. But I changed my perspective, and my perspective was that I'm grateful that I have people that will show up. And I realized that, some people may not have people that will show up. Some people may be alone for, during this time of year, or maybe going through different things. Or some people are even working. And so I changed that and this is a renewal practice, a lifestyle of renewal, by thinking, you know what, I'm grateful that I have people who care about me, that they showed up. That's being grateful. Okay, you came late, we're going to get that together. But just to be able to appreciate and not complain, complaining about different things. Being grateful brings you into that place of appreciation. So my expectations for appreciation. And I want you to share, what are some of your expectations for appreciation? What are some of your expectations for appreciation? I don't know, we go into the stores, we get in line, we're waiting, and sometimes, we're complaining. Come on, line is long. I don't feel like, let's just be real here. But you know what? Changing the focus and say, you know what? I am grateful that I'm able to afford to buy food for my family, to be able to come together. So I'm going to go ahead and stand in this line, even though sometimes it's about timing and when you get there. But changing that perspective of saying, how I'm in the line, I'm just using an example. But the main thing is that changing the expectation for appreciation. I am grateful that I am able to stand in line, to be able to afford or be able to buy anything to bring food and nourishment for my family. And me being a person that loves to cook, and loves to see other people. I like to give to other people and see them. And so it's okay to say, okay, I'm in line and I'm thinking. And so what I do is I shift my mindset. And when I shift my mindset, this changes the entire perspective of the situation. And so I shift my mindset to an expectation for appreciation. That's what I do. I shift it and say, okay, let me change the positive. Let me see, I know this may be seen negative. And because I'm a person who's an optimist, I go ahead and I say, okay, this is good. I'm glad to see you. I haven't seen you in a long time. We haven't spent time together. You're late. That's okay. I'm in the grocery store. Go ahead and share some of how you can change your expectations for appreciation. We appreciate our family and friends. We're intentional about pausing to take time to spend with them. And whatever time you can take, you give. And so those who are receiving your time should also be appreciative of the time that you're giving. Okay. And so it has to be reciprocated, that we are appreciating one another. We're preparing and getting together with our family and friends. So this should be a joyous time and occasion. All right, I see. Carmela said, yes, we can find opportunities for thankfulness and being grateful in practical things. Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing that, Carmela. All right, Anita Marie says, yes, a light bulb moment can bring you into a place of self awareness, a shift in your mindset for greater purpose of expectation. Thank you so much for sharing that. And that was our final point as we are understanding that as we are the Renewal Center and this is our tea time, we want you to foster a lifestyle of renewal. A lifestyle of renewal. Just not a renewal is not just a one-time experience. Renewal is each and every day. Renewal is in the moment. Renewal is in the minute. Renewal is in the time that you take to pause and breathe. I tell you, I appreciate silence. I appreciate calm. I cannot express that enough. How much I like a calm, serene atmosphere. That is embracing and that is energizing for me. That's how I get my, by being quiet and kind of thinking and reflecting. And what am I reflecting upon? So I take time to reflect upon the good, positive things, even though sometimes negative things try to snuff those positive thoughts out. But again, as we just shared just a moment ago, Renewal Center practice, a small shift in the mindset can change the entire environment, the entire atmosphere. And so just a shift in our mindset. So as we are embracing our family and friends, and even those who may not have a big family or just whatever you may choose to do, and so we have expectations of appreciating that family is showing up, that they're there, appreciating that I'm standing in the line, getting this food together, appreciating that everybody will enjoy, appreciate that people, our family, are taking time out of their schedules to come and be a part of our family gatherings and things like that. And I will share this as a transparent moment that for me, when we would do our family dinners, I'm always the first person to leave. After I've had so much, I need to I need to be alone. That's just me. After I embrace my family and love my family. But I will tell you this, they begin to understand who I am. So they said, okay, that's just how she's gonna show up, she's gonna come, but when she's ready to transition and move on and kind of get, I like to get by myself sometimes on the holidays, and they begin to appreciate that I showed up and I show up with gifts and laughter and love. And so they begin to embrace who I am. And that was the expectation of appreciation. And so I want you to take hold of that this season as we are in a season of Thanksgiving. And I'm going to go ahead and bring back on our director, Carmela Head, just so she can chime in as well. And I see some comments that are coming in as well. All right, let's see. She says, same here, calmness and stillness with no disruptions. I tell you, that's like $1,000,000 to me.
Mm-hmm.
The I don't want any disruptions. I just want to be quiet. I thank you for you feel me, Michelle. I thank you so much. All right. And Michelle says expectations are like saying you owe me something, but appreciation is expressing the value you see in for someone, something, or someone.
That's
Wow,
good.
thank you so much for sharing that, Michelle. That is great. All right. Anita Marie Davis says, me too. I love quiet. It's tranquil and peaceful, so serene. I call it my happy place,
Mm.
my soft place to fall. Thank you so much. That is good. That's
Yes.
me.
Yes, it is.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. All right. Patrick says, thank you, Hope Milton, for the renewal center. Oh, absolutely. This is what we do. We are a community. That is our executive director, Patrick Brown. Thank you for tuning in this afternoon. All right. So this is the time. I want you to go ahead, Carmela, and share what you got from this tea time and our practices and a lifestyle of renewal.
Yes.
And it's so many different things, but I
Yes.
just shared a few. But embracing the lifestyle of renewal. So go ahead, tell us, give us some feedback.
Yes, actually, that's the piece that stuck out. The renewal lifestyle. When you said that, I said, wow, you have to make it, like you said, make it a daily practice. Make it a practice of being intentional about it, ongoing. And not just ongoing, but you're making a choice. You're making a choice to make these changes. And I'm telling you, I'm excited today. The most part not the most part, the most practical piece of it is giving ourselves permission to pause, to stop, and to become self-aware.
Mm-hmm.
I just love this
Mm-hmm.
Tea Time Tuesday today, and just enjoying each and every practice that hope, that you mentioned to us today, because this is what we can incorporate, the other side of being grateful, but just showing ourselves how to be grateful for just being in the moment. That's what I got out of it the most. You know, expectation of appreciation.
Absolutely.
Woo, that was
Absolutely.
good. Yes.
Yeah.
And we can learn from
You
that.
know what? That was a place, Carmela. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Did
What
you say
happened?
something? I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
A
I
little
can hear
bit
you now.
internet
Okay.
things going on here. Can you hear me now?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It's just slow. It's just slow. But I am just, in a place where that was the area for me, being
Yeah.
transparent, where I wasn't giving myself permission to pause because my mind was wired. Something has to be done. Something has to be done. If I
Right.
pause, something's gonna be missed. Something's not gonna. And it was just like enough. I had to like self talk and change my perspective and focus and say, hey, it's okay to pause. When I started pausing, even though I would say I'm more quiet in, but it was still a lot of movement. Even I
Right.
began to sit still. And when I sat down, that's when I began to be refreshed. My thoughts were in light, and I began to feel,
Yeah.
get that energy and that thoughts for what I need to do for the day. So that was just, just great opportunity. And I thank you so much for sharing that. And I'm going to go ahead and go ahead as before we close out. Um, this is our giving initiative here. If you would like to give for the Renewal Center, to the Renewal Center on our Giving Tuesday, we invite you to give. The Renewal Center, we just, like I said, we're celebrating our 2 years this month.
Yes.
We have done some phenomenal, phenomenal things at the Renewal Center. A lot of things have taken place right here in the Renewal Center. Book signings, ministry
Yes.
launching, just different our prophetic gatherings, all types of things that have taken place. I have had my book launchings here as
Webinar
well,
series.
thinking of a more better place. And so we invite you to give. We have some programming that is coming up that will be beneficial for our not just our local community, but for the entire global community,
Yes.
which is all over. Global meaning all over through a virtual ways. We will have different programming that we are currently getting ready to launch and move forward in. And we have also an operational budget here at the Renewal Center where we are moving forward as well. So we invite you to be able to give to the Renewal Center by go ahead and donating as well. And so here I'm going to put on the screen the various ways that you can donate to the Renewal Center. Here on this, like I said, this is November. This is the month where we're doing our giving initiative. And I'll go ahead and allow you to leave that up there for a moment so you guys can see and go ahead and take that information down and give you a moment to be able. Wanted to take a pause, as we just said earlier, and allow you to gather that information so you can see it, and there it is, and
Yes.
so you'll be able to give. We
I like
also
that.
have some other announcements that we would like to share with you as well. We want to invite you to our Reforming Culture. Our
Hmm.
Reforming Culture, which is going to be held tomorrow. It's every first, second, and third Wednesdays at 7:30 p.m. We invite you to join us. Being that there is a fifth Wednesday in this month, we will have a time of prayer and soaking on the fifth Wednesday of this month. We look forward to you joining us again. You can sign up and go to our social media pages and join us for the Reforming Culture series. Our instructor is Apostle Patrick J. Brown. This is every first, second, and third Wednesdays at 7:30 p.m. This is a phenomenal class. We are currently talking about the book of Ephesians, the leadership principles and books and things like that of Ephesians. So this has been really good so far. We also like to invite you to join us for our caregiving during the holidays. And I'm going to go ahead and allow Pastor Carmela to explain more about that.
Okay. Well, as you all know, we have partnered with the Western Carolina Alzheimer's Association. And, this is a really good webinar. And I'll give you a little bit of insight really quick. For many caregivers, the holiday season gives rise to stress, frustration, sometimes even anger instead of peace and goodwill. And already feeling overwhelmed with caregiving tasks and stressed out, caregivers may view traditional holiday preparations as more of a drain than precious energy and joy. So this program is designed to teach caregivers to care for themselves, to pause, just like what you were talking about, to care for themselves, their loved ones, and the holiday season, all while giving suggestions that make the holidays more enjoyable for you and your loved ones. So this is going to be December the 5th from 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's a live free webinar. Please encourage your friends, if you know anyone that is a caretaker, caregiver, in any capacity, they can really learn and glean a lot from this live webinar. So we invite you to go to our Facebook page, click the link, our social media pages, click the link, download the app, click the links, and sign up for this Zoom link. We expect to see you.
All right. Again, we thank you all. That is our announcements for our tea time here. And I have a comment that came in. I learned that pausing is not selfish but necessary. Thanks, Hope, for today's lesson.
Yeah.
You are welcome, Tina. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you for your participation. We also want to thank all of those who have connected to the Renewal Center. We want to thank all the tea timers in our tea time community and those who've taken time out to give to the Renewal Center and the initiatives that we're moving forward in. And so we thank you all so much for coming on and just being a part of the Renewal Center's tea time. We will not have tea time next week because of the holiday, but join us for that last Tuesday of the month at 7 p.m. We will be having tea time. That's our evening session. So next week, enjoy your family. Be in a place of expectation of just being appreciative for your family and friends, being grateful during this season. And we will meet you back here that last Tuesday of this month for our special tea time that airs in the evening at 7 p.m. So we want you to join us. Again, enjoy your time with your family and friends. If you guys are off, remember to take a time to pause. A time to pause, reset, and build resilience. Again, we want to thank you all for joining us here on Tea Time. And remember, I am Renewal. You all have a great day. Thanks so much. And I'm glad to be here broadcasting from the Renewal Center. I'm so excited. Thank you so much. I'll see a few comments coming in. I enjoy the tea time with all of you. Oh, yes. Thank you so much, Anita Marie. Thank you so much. Again, you guys have a wonderful holiday season time with your family and friends, and have a wonderful day. We will see you, remember, the last Tuesday of this month at 7 p.m. You all have a great day, and thanks for tuning in to Tea Time Tuesday. Have a great day.